Any time in jail under a plea deal that has been worked out. Good afternoon, I'm Susan Farley. Physicians in Maine are raising concerns about Senator Susan Collins' record on health care, and a lawsuit has been filed to prevent the closing of a birthing center. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more on these and other stories coming up. First, let's check in with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin?
Hey Susan, happy Thursday afternoon. It's a nice one out there with a lot of sunshine. Seeing a little bit of clouds passing through, but overall nothing too ridiculous as we do push forward. It will be a dry and hot one as we do push forward with some elevated dew points as well. Let's zoom things out. You see some of that rain right there that's passing through Canada? That's our next system that will be moving in as high pressure clears out later on. Now, futurecast moving forward, you notice things are very quiet at this point. We'll have to watch out for a slight chance for a shower or a storm later on this evening and continuing during the overnight hours with more activity that will soon be on the way. So overall for today, mostly sunny. It's going to be hot out there. Look at this. We have 90s in a forecast, and any elevated dew points will not do us any favors either. We'll have that west wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Overnight, okay, we have upper 60s, not cooling off all that much. Will be partly cloudy with some isolated storms possible, and the wind overall going nice and calm. And then for tomorrow, partly cloudy. We'll have a few storms possible. Highs again in the low 90s, so hot and humid, and that west wind at about 5 miles per hour. Hourly forecast moving forward. Sunshine, some clouds possible with highs in the low 90s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Susan?
Thank you, Devin. New data shows that more overdose deaths continue to spike in Bangor and Penobscot County. The data indicates 6 more confirmed or suspected overdose deaths occurred in Bangor during the month of June. That brings the preliminary death total to 16 during the 3 most recent months for which data is available. According to that data, the preliminary 2026 death total in Bangor is now 23. During all of 2025, the number from lives lost from overdose in Bangor was 35. We'll have more on this story tonight. The person who was behind the wheel of a school bus that hit and killed a child in Rockland last year will likely not spend any time in jail, and the parents of that child are speaking out through their attorney. According to attorneys in the case, 65-year-old Jeffrey Colburn of Camden was indicted for manslaughter in January 2026 as part of a plea deal worked out with the state. Colburn will now plead guilty to a lesser motor vehicle violation resulting in death. It will require an acknowledgement of responsibility for conduct resulting in Braden Callahan's death. The reported agreement has not yet been addressed by the court. A hearing is reportedly scheduled for August 11th in Knox County. The maximum sentence is a 4-year license suspension and a $5,000 fine. 12-year-old Braden Callahan was killed in November 2025. According to a Rockland Police Department report, Callahan was approaching the marked crosswalk at the front of the bus when the bus moved forward and struck him. Colburn reportedly told police he did not see him. The report says video from the bus showed that the bus crossing arm was no longer deployed. Attorneys for the boy's parents said in a statement on their behalf, quote, "They are not without sympathy for Mr. Colburn and the profound consequences he will carry. But their primary concern is that RSU 13, the institution entrusted with protecting children on its buses, be held fully accountable for the safety systems, training, supervision, and decisions that failed Braden." The family asked for privacy as they continue mourning their son. A piece of critical infrastructure serving a local community is out of service, and that is raising public safety concerns in Bangor. Our Alex Schley has more on the impact and what is being done to fix it.
A fire hydrant serving the brick church and the surrounding community on First Street was vandalized last month, and officials say it could still be weeks before it's fully repaired. The brick church's Pastor Leon says the incident happened on July 21st.
People here on the sidewalk outside the church were intoxicated. They started trying to climb our small little trees over there, and then they jumped down out of the trees, and They jumped on the fire hydrant.
Pastor Leon says the individuals who have not been identified snapped part of the hydrant off, cutting off the water supply to the only shower available for people during the summer.
It is so important for these people in this community to get a nice hot shower once in a while, or just a shower in general, just to wash off the sweat.
The general manager of the Bangor Water District, Chuck Harrison, confirmed the repair falls under their jurisdiction. However, with it still unclear who damaged the hydrant, it is also unclear who will be responsible for covering the cost of the repairs.
We have not had any conversations with the Water District, or with anybody for that matter.
In the meantime, the Brick Church had to make plumbing changes.
We had to redo our plumbing so that we can keep it going at least, but we were down.
Harrison says the Water District is working to get the hydrant back in service in the coming weeks. Officials say the impact goes beyond the showers, as the damaged hydrant is also one of the primary fire hydrants serving the First Street area.
I mean, for us, for the people next door, for the people around here, that fire hydrant is out of order and there's no water coming out of it. So it should be a really big issue for this area.
In Bangor, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Law enforcement is encouraging residents to use online reporting for non-active incidents. As part of the effort, the Bangor Fire Department has revamped its system to make it more user-friendly and accessible. Sergeant Jeremy Brock says the goal is to make reporting easier for residents while also helping the department better allocate resources. Brock says while residents should never hesitate to call emergency services, there are some situations where using the online system may be more appropriate. Officers say the system can also be used to submit anonymous tips. We will have a link to Bangor's online reporting system on our website, foxbangor.com. Physicians in Maine raised concerns about Senator Susan Collins' record on health care. The Zoom press conference yesterday was hosted by the Committee to Protect Health Care. They and 3 Maine physicians are calling on senators to respond to her 2018 vote to confirm Brett Kavanaugh to the U.S. Supreme Court, which they say made way for Roe v. Wade being overturned, and her 2022 no vote on the Inflation Reduction Act.
It speaks volumes for seniors across our state, many of whom rely on multiple prescriptions while on fixed incomes.
Dr. Nesson also expressed praise for U.S. Senate candidate Troy Jackson, who he says championed Maine's Prescription Drug Affordability Board. In response to that Zoom press conference, Senator Collins' campaign spokesperson Sean Roderick said, quote, "This is a Chicago-based far-left pact that supports extreme progressive candidates, so it's no surprise that they are backing Troy Jackson. This pact doesn't care anything about Maine. It only works to elect far-left candidates that share its agenda. And unlike Troy Jackson, Susan Collins has always supported a woman's right to choose." A former substitute teacher has been indicted by a grand jury on a charge of felony gross sexual assault. 31-year-old Tyler Gadare is accused of engaging in an ongoing improper relationship with a 17-year-old female student between September and December of 2025. The student was enrolled at the Androscoggin Learning and Transition Center, a behavioral alternative school. Court documents show the relationship included sexual contact inside of a classroom. And a woman has now filed a lawsuit against Maine Health, along with multiple Maine Health boards and other individuals, over the possible closure of the county's only birthing center. The woman claims she and her legal team are now in a race to stop the closure, or at least delay it before Maine Health makes a final decision, which is expected at some point today. Max Williams has the details.
The fight to keep Lincoln Hospital's labor and delivery unit open is reaching a critical point.
We'll have to drive 40 miles to mid-coast. I mean, that could be the difference between an ordinary delivery or a medical emergency.
Karina Stum, who is pregnant and expecting to give birth in Lincoln County, and her legal team announced this morning they are suing Maine Health, several of its boards, and Lincoln Hospital.
My client is going to suffer catastrophic, irreparable harm if we can't stop this closure.
As part of the 13-page lawsuit, Stum is seeking immediate declaratory and injunctive relief to preserve the status of the only labor and delivery unit in Lincoln County.
This isn't lawyers filing documents to get money. This is about public safety, and this is a tremendous risk.
Count 1 of the lawsuit claims Maine Health misled the public about the review process, the need to close the birthing center, and the factual basis for its recommendation. Count 2 asked the court to keep the status quo of the center to prevent irreparable injury. CBS 13 reached out to Maine Health for comment but did not hear back. The health system has previously said the proposed closure is driven by staffing challenges and declining birth rates.
85 years they've been getting born in the walls of that hospital, and they need to go for another 85.
If Maine Health decides to shut down the birthing center, it will become the 12th one in Maine to close in roughly a decade.
For, our well-being and going into the birth of our child, feeling good about that. We want to be surrounded by the people that we love and in a place that we know and trust.
And as of right now, the Maine Health Board of Trustees is set to make a final vote on if they will close the birthing center here at Lincoln Hospital.
Coming up on ABC 7 News at noon, nurses at Maine Medical Center are demanding the return of a co-worker who was detained by ICE. We'll tell you about it when we return.
What is Spectrum Internet? It's secure internet for you and your family.
It's keeping kids like us safe online.
It's everything you want it to be. Switch today at Spectrum.com.
I got hurt in this accident and the insurance company isn't offering me nearly enough money.
If you've been hurt, you deserve to be free from your car accident problems, free from dealing with the insurance company, and free from your financial struggles. Call the twos, it's free.
I made a free call to Lowry Law and they got me $275,000. The twos set me free.
I'm your go-to guy.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Dexter, is brought to you by Hometown Health Services. Visit their new, exciting community health center in Palmyra for appointments. Also in Dexter and Newport. Berg Activewear in Corinna has celebrated 40 years, offering custom screen printing and embroidery. Lakeshore Restaurant, specializing in the best seafood around. Fresh burgers, pizza, calzones, and don't forget the ice cream.
Invest in your nest with the County Federal Credit Union. Your home has grown in value season after season. With the county's 1010 Home Equity Line of Credit, you can borrow up to your credit limit over 10 years with interest-only payments over those 10 years, 10-10. And then you can stop and smell the roses, soak up the sun, and invest in your nest. The 1010 Home Equity Line of Credit, the County Federal Credit Union, countyfcu.org.
At Spectrum, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between speed, reliability, and value. That's why Spectrum fiber-powered internet gives you all three for just $40 a month. Call or go online.
Your boyfriend needed money to get home.
He was in Malaysia and he needed $3,000.
A coworker came to her rescue.
And he gave you $3,000.
Yes.
But now it's her story.
So you sent this money to the boyfriend who then disappeared on you.
Yes.
That needs serious help.
You think that I believe you? Do you think that I believe you? What are you, out of your mind?
Next, Judge Judy.
Thursday at 5 on ABC 7.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Federal officials are looking into what happened when a commercial jet took off just as President Trump's helicopter left the White House this week. It comes after the FAA took steps to ensure that helicopters and airplanes would no longer share the same airspace around the airport after a deadly collision last year. Jared Halpern has more.
With the president on board, Marine One took off from the White House Tuesday afternoon. But despite protocol, air traffic controllers had not stopped flight traffic at Reagan National Airport. The FAA and NTSB are now investigating why.
Tower, that's Marine One, proceeding as briefed. One, you got traffic rotating off runway 1, E170. Marine One, visual traffic. Marine One, roger. One, we'll be doing a momentary delay.
Video shows a commercial jet taking off at 2:35 p.m. Then, a short time later, you see Marine One flying into the area over the Potomac River. The FAA says the flight paths were not on a collision course, writing, quote, "There was momentary loss of separation, after which the aircraft continued to move away from one another. The air traffic controller was in contact with both the commercial pilot and Marine One pilot during the loss of separation." A White House spokesperson adding, quote, "Marine One flights are piloted by some of the best aviators in the world, and at no point was the president in harm's way." The FAA tightened up the amount of air traffic near Reagan National Airport after a deadly mid-air collision last year. That happened when an Army Black Hawk helicopter collided with an American Airlines regional jet, which had been cleared to land at the airport, killing 67 people. The Marine Corps calls Tuesday's flight routine and says air traffic controllers approved the requested route. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
More than a dozen states have now been hit by water system cyber attacks. New evidence is pointing to Iran. ABC's Aaron Katersky has more.
A couple more states are now coming forward to say these cyber attacks impacted their water systems. And now it appears Iran may have been laying the groundwork for them even before the war started. An intelligence note reviewed by ABC News said public safety officials in Utah identified targeted reconnaissance against water infrastructure in their state that used an internet signature linked to Iran. This was back on November 24th, a full 3 months before the war started. And when the note said there were nearly 500 attempted intrusions in a 46-minute window. Officials concluded this may have been a precursor to the recent activity now seen in more than a dozen states. And now officials in New Jersey and South Dakota are confirming water utilities in their states were impacted. But there's no evidence that water supplies, public drinking water supplies anywhere in the country have been negatively impacted, guys.
Nurses at Maine Medical Center are demanding the return of a co-worker who was detained by ICE. She is originally from Zambia. ICE says it took her into custody in Boston last week after her visa expired in November 2024. Sam DaCosta reports.
Maine Medical Center confirmed that Deborah Kapisha is a registered nurse that works here at the hospital. ICE says that she came to the U.S. 2 years ago from Zambia. Her nurses union says that she was unfairly detained on the basis that they say she was legally authorized to live and work here. According to Maine Health, everyone who works for the company is vetted to ensure they are authorized to legally live and work here. Now the company says it is in contact with Maine's congressional delegation to learn more about her status, and also in talks with Kapisha's attorney to provide support in securing her release. The nurses union claims she is currently being held in Massachusetts and that ICE intends to transfer her to Louisiana. Protest organizers say that move was put on hold today because of their protest. Attendees of this afternoon's protest, including state leaders like Hannah Pingree and Decca DeLocke, are calling for Kapisha's safe and immediate return and the abolishment of ICE.
This is not about safety. This is not about border security. It is about control over black and brown bodies. It is about the humiliation of the arrest. It's about the isolation. It's about the fear. We can have reasonable discussions about border security without degrading our fellow human beings.
ICE issued a statement about Kapisha's detainment saying in part, quote, "Being in detention is a choice. We encourage all illegal aliens to take control of their departure, reserve the chance to come back to the U.S., the right legal way to live the American dream. If not, you will be arrested and deported without a chance to return." ICE also said that Kapisha will remain in custody pending the result of her case.
After the break, a nonprofit is increasing the options for people with diabetes. We'll be right back.
If you've been hurt, you deserve to be free from your car accident problems, free from the worry of medical costs, and free from your financial struggles. Call the twos right now. It's free. I'm your go-to guy.
Hi, I'm Tony with TC Hafford Basement Systems. A poorly sealed and under-insulated home will leave you with higher energy bills. We've partnered with Dr. Energy Saver to offer the best energy-saving solutions that keep the temperatures in your home comfortable and help you save big on energy costs. Attic insulation, spray foam insulation, and whole home energy evaluation. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementing.
In the ICU, I've seen patients being bankrupted by the cost of care, and they're having to travel 3 and 4 hours to receive that care. This didn't just happen. Susan Collins voted to support Donald Trump on the largest Medicaid cut in history. Healthcare is getting even more expensive. People are losing coverage. Labor and delivery centers are closing. Hospitals are closing. We need to tell Susan Collins to stop siding with Donald Trump. We can't afford it.
Situated in Jonesboro on the coast of Maine lies Barren View Golf Course, a true links course that's a treat for golfers of all skill levels. We feature a driving range, putting green, practice sand trap, pro shop, and snack bar. Open 7 days a week. Please call ahead for a tee time.
Your internet experience feels different, ultra reliable, lightning fast. With Fidium 100% fiber, everything you do online works exactly like it should.
Night, bud. Zach, go to bed.
So is cable internet still slowing you down? Enough already. Fiber up to Fidium. Get a 2 gig plan for only $65 a month at fidiumfiber.com.
We've got a 100-year-old company here, and it's because of the service, the quality, and the experience. It gets done right.
I think we've been doing it for so long. The only thing that we do, that when we walk into a room, we automatically know how to treat that window. We can take any product that the customer's looking for and make it work in just about any situation that they present us with. So
There's no reason to be overwhelmed. No. We can help you through it.
We're not going anywhere. We've been around for 100 years.
A new study suggests that calmer parenting may lower the risk of early childhood obesity. ABC's Mike Dubosky has more.
A new study from Yale University suggests helping parents manage stress may lower the risk of unhealthy weight gain in young children. Parents who reported feeling less pressure had more positive interactions with their children, and their kids ate fewer empty calories. Stress at home can shape family routines, including food choices, sleep, and physical activity, all of which influence a child's well-being and weight. The findings also suggest supporting parents could be an important part of preventing childhood obesity. So what can families do? Experts recommend simple habits like taking a walk to decompress, asking for help when needed, and keeping regular meal and bedtime routines can go a long way towards helping the entire family unwind. Even small changes can help ease tension, improve communication, and help families stay connected. With this Medical Minute, I'm Mike Dubosky.
A nonprofit in California is giving people with diabetes an option to help them monitor their symptoms. Nonprofit Canine Companions is providing medical alert dogs to people with diabetes. While traditional blood sugar monitoring requires a finger prick of blood, sensors can now track changing biochemistry when a crash is in progress. The nonprofit says the dog's sophisticated noses can smell when blood sugar drops in the body, and then are trained to alert their owners. 2-year-old Labrador Golden Mix Retriever Jigsaw using his nose to guide him to the correct cylinder. Some clients saying that their dogs can alert them about their blood sugar faster than certain technology, allowing them to get treatment before the symptoms hit. However, experts say the dogs are not meant to replace other monitoring methods. Canine Companions has trained over 100 pups with a success rate of up to 98%.
This is just another tool in your tool chest. This is not a magic bullet. It's not going to fix everything. You still have to manage everything you do every single day.
There were over 600 applications last year with only 15 successfully trained dogs. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
I went to work in the woods after high school. The harder we worked, the more that the companies took from us. That's why we organized. We made them listen. People are doing everything they can right and still cannot get ahead. Susan Collins keeps telling us everything is just fine. Who has she served? She has served Donald Trump. She has served the billionaires. She has served herself. We are getting screwed, and I'm running to change that.
Government that Works PAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Car accidents can be scary. It can feel like the whole world is crashing down around you. You can't work, you've got expensive medical bills, pain and suffering. Absolute chaos. We'll take the stress and frustrations off your shoulders. We've done that for thousands of people, and we're ready to help you too. Hurt in a car accident? I'm on top of it. I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222. Kirk Fisher is a motorcycle attorney with first responder experience. He protects fellow riders and those in danger, fighting fires and fighting for your rights. Experienced, determined, and dedicated. Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers. Look for motorcycles, or Kirk Fisher will be looking for you.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, Susan, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. Checking out the wave heights. Not looking too bad. We have 2-foot wave heights right here, and not too bad further off towards the north and east either. So overall, we're looking rather calm. We just have some elevated temperatures that will be expected, while farther off towards the east, we have 2 to 4 foot wave heights right about in here. So the ocean looking rather calm at this time. Water temperature is in the 60s right now nearby, lower to upper 60s right there, while some 60s and even 70s being noted farther out towards sea. At this time, though, it's definitely very quiet out there this afternoon. Just some thin clouds passing through. So we have a lot of sunshine taking place, and overall it's going to stay quiet as we do push forward in time thanks to high pressure. For now, we have a cold front that's tracking off towards the east, and that's going to be our next system taking place. That will give us some opportunities for some showers and a few rumbles of thunder. So coming up for today, lots of sunshine. Notice we have an isolated chance for a shower or storm later on tonight, and that will continue as we head towards tomorrow. The energy is going to be increasing throughout your Friday. Notice that right there. It's not going to be a whole lot, at least at this point, but by Friday night, that'll be our better opportunities for showers and some thunderstorms continuing as we head towards your Saturday. So the dew points are going up. So notice throughout the daytime today, we'll have middle 60s for dew points, even some 70s through Friday, Saturday, even into the early parts of Sunday before they go back down, and then right back up as we head towards your Monday. So for today, here we go. Low 90s, mostly sunny, hot, humid out there too, with that west wind at about 5 miles per hour. Overnight, upper 60s, partly cloudy, isolated storms possible, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a few thunderstorms possible, hot and humid again. Highs in the low 90s, west wind at about 5 miles per hour. Your extended forecast for your Saturday, showers and thunderstorms with highs in the mid 80s. Still humid out there as well. Sunday, some more storms with highs in the upper 80s, and then Monday, some more storms with highs in the upper 80s.
Thank you, Devin. Elephants at the Budapest Zoo were enjoying a cool spray of water as yet another heat wave spreads across Europe. Zookeepers say even though the Asian elephants can take the heat, cooling them off with a cool splash can help them keep their cool. They explain that the body cools by evaporation, so in the heat, they are drinking more water, and getting a quick spritz can help with the evaporation process. Temperatures in Hungary reached 106 in some places. Forecasters say the heat will continue over the next several days, with temperatures ranging from the high 80s to the high 90s. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you this evening on ABC 7 News at 6. Have a great afternoon.
Thinking of buying a used car? Be on the alert for the potential for fraud with private vehicle sales. Knowing the signs of fraud and doing your research can help ensure you get a good deal and not swindled. Before handing over your hard-earned cash, thoroughly research the vehicle's history. And remember, if a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. Brought to you by this station, the Maine Association of Broadcasters, and the Office of the Secretary of State.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.